If you'll indulge me with two. First is, you just spoke about unity within your conference. You had the resolution that you put forward has roughly 400, when I checked this morning, names. One, how important is it that you have unity within your caucus on that resolution, or are you okay with ones who do not sign on to it? And secondly, I'm going to change topics a little bit on you. There's been a resolution put forward by New York Republicans to expel George Santos from Congress on these new superseding indictments. Congress has only expelled 2 members in recent history, both after they were convicted. Obviously, an expulsion needs 2/3 to have happen, which means they would need votes from you. Are you willing to provide those?
I'll ask both the Vice Chair and Ranking Member Meeks to speak on both of these issues. One, because it's his resolution, but also as a member of the New York delegation. What I'll say to your first point, Leader Jeffries has said, and we've said this throughout the last 10 months, unity does not mean unanimity. The Democratic caucus can be unified behind our values, behind our purpose, behind the policy that we support. And that doesn't always mean we have unanimity. I expect if this resolution comes to a vote, which I hope it does soon, if Republicans set the chaos aside and we have someone to preside, I would assume it's going to have an extremely strong bipartisan vote that sends a message to one of our most important allies in Israel. That's the story. That's what we hope is discussed, and we will let our members make their own decisions. Second point: serial fraudster George Santos is only in Congress because House Republicans protected him in May. When resolutions came up, they voted to table it, and they have to live with that. And now I understand that some of them might want a redo. Just like, the former speaker might want to redo. That's not where we are. And so, we will see what the floor activity is on an expulsion resolution. Obviously, it has a high threshold, but we firmly believe, the House Democratic Caucus firmly believes, that individual, that George Santos, does not meet the standards of someone who should serve under this dome. We've been very clear about that. It's only our Republican colleagues who have protected him, namely because they need the vote. Anytime we see something, and George Santos has been the deciding vote on items of policy over the last few months, they need his vote. That's why they protect him. That's why he's still here. Yield to the Vice Chair and then Ranking Member Meeks.
The con man purportedly known as George Santos should resign. Multiple Democratic members of Congress and Republican members of Congress have called on him to resign. I believe if a motion to expel was put on the floor, it would pass. He can save himself that embarrassment by simply resigning.
The leader is exactly right as to the resolution. Everyone is considering it in the Democratic caucus, but members will make their own choice. We've now up to over 400 members that have signed on.